Okay, I just took it, y'all. I don't know what it says. I haven't looked at it yet. Literally just took it. Let's see what's on it so far. I don't know that I see very much of anything. Actually, there is a little bit of a line that you cannot see in this picture. I actually do see a line. Hold on, let me try another one. I'll be back. This is the little dollar store one. So I think it's just too soon, to be honest. Because I can't tell if there's an indent line, but I absolutely see a line in there. Uh-oh, sorry y'all, I'm terrible at this. Now y'all gonna have to wait till the pee dry. I could not sleep last night at all. It was driving me insane. Yeah, well, we're only 6 days past, so I cannot see anything very strong. But there's definitely something on that one. Let's see. I feel like when you turn the light on more, it just makes it harder to see. But I think I might be pregnant. Oh, look. Can you see it? Oh, and there's a little slight indent line showing up on this one too. OMG, I think I might be possibly pregnant. And I don't think this is still the HCG. Anyway, we will come back tomorrow with better lines, hopefully, because I think I might be pregnant. Hi guys, long time no see or hear from or whatever. So I was forgive my ashy hands. This I think I have eczema, and this having to wash my hands 100 times a day is rough. I have to put lotion on every 5 seconds, and it seems to be agitating my eczema. So there's that. Y'all didn't need to know that though. So at any rate, I kept trying to come back to my videos to give you guys an update, and I had every plan to do it in the house where I was more focused and I was able to really pay attention and yada yada yada. But I find that that's been difficult because when I get home I'm tired, or like even from working from home, I work 2 jobs and then going to all my doctor's appointments, and it's just been so rough. So it's been really hard for me to catch you guys up. So I figured instead of just trying to make it the perfect setting, I would just start here. I just go ahead and come to the video while I was in the car. So just as a little update, last time I videoed my me taking the test, and it was actually positive, which was so exciting. And then that Saturday, maybe, I think that might have been 8 days past transfer, and then no, it wasn't. That was 6 days past transfer. And then at 8 days past transfer, I did a digital, and that came back pregnant. And I kept it because I was like, oh yes, this keeps me like feeling good. This keeps me like, I know I can do this. And so I went for my beta on that Monday, which was 10 days past ovulation, and turns out I was actually pregnant, which I was super excited about, but at the same time super cautious and optimistic, because when she called me, she said my beta was only 31.75, and most of you know, a lot of the clinics would like it to be at least 50 by that point. So because of that, I wasn't feeling all too optimistic. I kept taking tests. My line was not getting darker. Like, it would get a little bit darker, but then it just stopped. It just wasn't. And then I took another one in between my two betas, and the one that I was taking was surprisingly about the same. But I took another little cheapie, and I didn't see the line really at all. So I was like, maybe this is because it's something I had never taken before. It was a cheapie. Like, maybe there's something wrong, because I can very clearly see this other line on this other one. But I was still concerned because it wasn't getting darker, and I just had no faith that this was a viable pregnancy. Like, when she told me it was 30, I was like, or 31, I was like, it's not going to work. It just didn't feel right. It felt like it wasn't going to work. And I was anxious the whole time. I was getting no sleep. I had insomnia terribly because I kept waking up. I kept going to bed like, okay, I'm going to wake up the next morning and take a test. And then I was thinking about it all day. And then I was like, okay, this line isn't dark enough. I got to hurry up and wake up to take a beta. And then I had to hurry up and wake up to take my next beta. Like, my mind couldn't turn off. And no matter how many times I told myself it wasn't viable, obviously we're still always hoping that it's viable, or else why would we be doing this? And so I just found myself super anxious and super stressed. And then I went back this Tuesday, which was 12 days past ovulation, and it went from 31 to 9. So, not Thursday, it was Wednesday. So now I'm kind of just waiting for this baby to find its way completely out of me. Like, disperse into whatever it's going to disperse into, soak away, whatever happens when you have a chemical pregnancy slash miscarriage, which is also something. I know when you really look at what chemical pregnancy is, it really is just a miscarriage. Like, they talk to you about it like it's just like, oh no, sorry, it just didn't work out. Like, the way it sounds to me when people talk about it is as if it just was something that didn't work out. But it really was a baby that stuck enough to give me 31 HCG, and like, it was a baby at that, to me. And don't get me wrong, I get it was an embryo, like, it was just a fetus at that point, but still, to me, it was a fetus. And so once you develop a fetus, you had a miscarriage. And when I was doing research about chemicals, like, my thought around it was always like, it just kind of goes away. Like, it just happens to be a very, very, very early pregnancy that just stuck, but then was like, no, never mind. Kind of like a disappearing twin type of deal is how I thought about it. But when you research it, like, and I didn't read a bunch of articles about it, but some articles are saying that some doctors just have kind of used that as light language to make people feel better, so they're not going around telling people that they have miscarriage month after month after month, which obviously they still treat it like it's miscarriage month after month, but but in the infertility world, it's kind of like we have to give it soft language. But really, like, it feels like it's the miscarriage, and I feel like I need to miscarry this baby completely. That's what my brain is thinking, and that's how it really kind of is. But it may be I don't have to go through the whole process. Like, I don't have to, like, literally miscarry. Like, it might not have to come out of my body like a full-grown fetus would have to. And so it's not that I don't understand the difference. I just feel like we like to tiptoe around things. And no matter what, you lost a baby. And that's the thing. And even before losing this baby, I'm putting in quotation marks, I still was losing the idea of having the baby. The only good thing about this is that I've never been pregnant, and now I know at least I can get pregnant. At least I know that. But it has been hard to talk about. I mean, I have told people, but now I see why. At first I was like, I don't understand. If you just go tell people you had a miscarriage anyway, why not just tell them? And that you're pregnant to begin with. And I still kind of feel like that. The only thing about this particular journey is that everybody knows every single step. And so I don't think the problem for me was telling people. It was the timing of telling people. So if it was like, oh yeah, we're trying to get pregnant. And oh yeah, I got pregnant. Then I could tell people in 3 months. All right, okay, maybe that's an exaggeration. In a week would be good enough. I could tell people in a week, but it feels like here everybody knows step by step, and that's on me, because I keep telling people step by step, and then I have to turn around and tell them when it doesn't work, when I'm not ready to talk about it. Not all the time. So that's the hard part about sharing the journey. I'll say that. That's the hard part about sharing this. But I do it intentionally because I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. And I know there are a lot of pieces that we like to pretend don't exist. And I also know I'm not the only person sharing this journey either. So, but the more of us that speak out, the more we'll realize that it's okay to feel this way. And I went to therapy today. But we do online. And she was like, you need to stop trying to I struggle to grieve because you guys know I have a history of depression. And so every time I get sad about something, I'm always afraid that I'm going to go back to that depression. And so instead I just put up a whole wall. And I'm like, now I'm trying to be solution focused. Like, how do I fix this? I need to fix it. I need to get it together. Like, you can be sad for a little while, but like, you knew this was going to happen. Let's figure out how to move on and get to the next steps. And that's just not a thing. I can't do that. I have to genuinely grieve this situation. But I did make a decision to pick up and move forward and just go right into the next cycle. Even though, if I'm being completely honest with y'all, I don't want to. I don't want to pick up and go into the next session, the next cycle, because I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I feel like I've hit every hurdle that can be hit, and I'm tired of hitting hurdles. And this one just crushed me to the point of I just don't want to keep doing it. But I also know myself well enough to know that I still want the end goal. I still want it, and I know I will. And if I don't do it, then I'm going to regret it later. And if I take a break now, once I stop something, there's no going back. So just because I'm feeling like that right now, I would hate to be halfway through the month, through the cycle, and be like, I should have did this. I should have went ahead and did it, because now I'm pushing back my dreams even more. Now I'm going to have to start all over again. Like, there's so many things, and I know it's not necessarily that way. I'm just kind of giving you guys some insight into like the way way my brain is processing. And so some of what I'm doing right now is just a little bit of rambling, but that's just, I feel like this whole process is that you are kind of rambling your way through it. And that is the toughest part, because it's like you have very little control over any of it, and all you can do is just trust that it'll work, or trust that what is going to work will work and what won't. And whatever you're feeling in that moment, it's okay to feel. Because I was also telling my therapist today, like, I had to tell myself that, because I started thinking, when do I give up? At what point do I give up? And she said, yeah, but it's not time for that yet. And I said, yeah. So then I had to start telling myself that that's not a thing. Push that off. Like, that's not something we even need to focus on right now. Push that off. And don't even think about that right now. She said, yeah, but the problem is that you are thinking about it. And so it's not push it off. Don't push it off, because you do genuinely think every month, should I give up? And that's a normal feeling. So don't negate that feeling. That's part of your processing and thinking. The thing is that you're not at the point that you're ready to give up. And I think that was all she was saying. Like, that's not where you're at right now. You're not ready to give up. You're not at the point to give up. But it's not a terrible thing that you're thinking that way, because this will beat you down sometimes. It really will. I just was joking to my friends earlier about, like, seeing how women do crazy things in this process. Like, I can see it. It's all the emotions and all the feelings, and like, this will make you do some stuff that just don't make no sense sometimes. So yeah, that's I see that I'm like 13 minutes into this ramble, so I'm sorry, guys. But that's where I'm at now. So next cycle, I'm waiting for my period. They have me finishing out with progesterone, I guess, probably to induce the cycle, which now I don't know when it's going to start. And I was thinking, I mean, at this point, if it's like, because if I was at 9, that means that my HCG should be very, very, very low at this point. And that was almost 2 days ago. So to me, my period should be coming soon, and I'm hoping so. But if it comes 5 days after I end the progesterone, which is going to be March 3rd, then that's another almost 2 weeks at this, 8 days, I guess. So no, I guess it's not. It's like something like 10 days. So that's gonna push me back. And I also think that I've convinced myself, like, every year I'm like, I'm gonna have a 2020 baby. I'm gonna have a 2021 baby. And I think I'm also really sad because I realize that if my period doesn't come anytime soon, if my period doesn't come in the next week, well, okay, if this cycle doesn't work, and my period doesn't come in the next 2 weeks, then that also means I'm not gonna have a 2021 baby. And that probably sounds super petty, but it's something about just saying, no, this year is going to be the year. And so every month that it gets pushed off, it makes me feel further and further away. And it's like, I guess it's not going to be this year. And to me, that's how I equate it into, I guess that's just, I chucked this whole year up for a loss. Which sounds ridiculous, I'm sure, but that's what I do. It's like this, I guess this year is a loss too. It's only February, but that's how it feels to me. So, at any rate, I will try to keep you guys updated when cycle day 1 starts and how all of that is going. The good thing is, and I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, because in my head, no matter what, I'm going to the rheumatologist tomorrow so they can find out more about the autoimmune issue I was telling you guys about. I went to a neurologist about some other things because my whole body is falling. Just throw the whole body away. But he said he thinks probably a lot of stuff I'm experiencing is probably related to autoimmune too. So I'll have more knowledge and information about that. And I mean, my reproductive endocrinologist was already being mindful about the possible autoimmune issues, and so she put me on a immunosuppressant kind of protocol. So I don't know how much it would be helpful, but it would be nice to. But the good thing is I'll go into next cycle having possibly a little bit more knowledge. I'm guessing he might make me do some more blood work or whatever the case tomorrow to find out more information. But at least I'll have some knowledge and what he possibly thinks and so on and so forth. So maybe that will be helpful to at least go into the next cycle with that information. So I'll keep you guys up to date about that too. But thank y'all for hanging in there with me for the last 17 minutes. This will definitely have you going through it. So at any rate, I will talk to you guys next time. I will talk to you guys on cycle day 1, or with any projected updates that you might need to know. Bye.